two happy competitors, but this is the champion of the Gator Nationals, Billy Williams.
Billy Williams would like nothing better to repeat as the top sportsman racer in all the country as he sets his sights on the Grace Quaker State Performance Cup for 1980. The sportsman category competition completed. The top fuel dragsters headed back to the starting lines. There you see our sportsman winners plus the pro bike champion, Mike Keith. We'll be back with more racing from the Gator Nationals in just a moment. Back at the NHRA Gator Nationals in Gainesville, Florida, I'm Dave McClelland along with Steve Evans, and we have 4 cars remaining in Top Fuel Eliminator. We're ready for the semi-final round of racing, and it is Big Daddy Don Garlits against Jeb Allen. With over 20 years of driving experience in Top Fuel Eliminator, Big Daddy has been down the racetrack many a time. His competition at the age of 25 is one of the up-and-coming superstars of the sport, winning his first national title at the tender age of 18 when Jeb Allen won the Summer Nationals title in Englishtown, New Jersey. Right now, he's got one of the toughest chores cut out for any Top Fuel racer, and that is defeating the man driving the black car, Big Daddy Don Garlits. The burnout's completed. Coming into the staging beams, both drivers concentrating on the Christmas tree. A good start for both cars. And Big Daddy starts to lose control. He has to back out of it. And it is Jeb Allen taking the win. And in a lapse time of 5.84 seconds, Jeb just getting quicker every round of eliminations. His speed 239 miles an hour. Something going wrong with Big Daddy's car as it started to make a violent move to the left. The track-savvy veteran backing out instantly and bringing the car under control. Here you see Garlits' car making the move towards the center line. He very wisely backs out and lets Jeb Allen go on for the win.
This has got the thrill of at least the last 6 months for Jeb Allen to put away Big Daddy.
Yeah, we just, oh geez, I'm so happy. In the state of Florida, folks. You know, it's just wonderful to do that. We're in the final round now, and that's an 84 we run.
84, 239.
Boy, that's great. You know, we've been working at this for a year now, trying to get this car to run and perform and not hurt itself. With our sponsors, English Leather, and everybody, it's just wonderful that it can happen.
Okay, now how important is lane choice?
I think it's the race.
Okay, well, it's coming up right now. Let's go back to the starting line and find out if Jeb Allen gets lane choice or if it's the winner of this next pair.
Steve, this next pair includes 2 cars that are certainly capable of capturing lane choice. Richard Tharp, the driver of the Candies and Hughes car, and Gary Beck, the driver for Larry Minor. Beck, as we've seen already, has established the 5th quickest time in the history of drag racing right here on this racetrack at 5.71 seconds. He'd love to duplicate that, but track conditions change from round to round, so it may be very difficult. Richard Tharp had a lucky break when Shirley Muldowney broke something in her transmission and was unable to give him a good race. Now everything's on the starting line between Beck and Tharp. Tharp beginning into tire shake, goes out of control slightly, and it is Gary Beck with the win and moves into the finals with the elapsed time of 5.82 seconds at over 241 miles an hour. Gary Beck gets lane choice, that all-important choice of the racing surface in the final round. You see Richard Tharp, the car shaking the tires violently, starts out of control. He brings it back to the center of the lane, but not in time to stop Gary Beck.
Gary Beck, a former world champion, a 2-time U.S. Nationals champion, but let's face it, there's been a dry spell the last few years, but look at this grin, Dave. 582, you have lane choice. Jeb Allen told me moments ago lane choice means the race. Do you believe that?
Well, certainly. The track's been real tricky, and we had a little trouble last round, shook the tires, broke the transmission, and fortunately we're back on the path. Jeb's tough, that's for sure. We've had a lot of trouble with him in national events.
And a good friend of yours.
Oh, yes, certainly. We know the Allens real well, but I'll tell you, Larry Minor and Jim Wright have got this thing cooking, and fortunately for me, I get to change the pedals in it, and here we go.
And here we go into funny car semifinals. This is the War Eagle of Dale Paldy and Mike Hamby. They had lots of problems the round before. Hope they've got them fixed now. This is the man that has established a new national record at 5.94 seconds. Don the Snake Prudhomme in his Plymouth Aero-bodied funny car. And again, something going wrong with the War Eagle. The crew down on the ground looking to see what is it coming out of the car. Starter Buster Couch says, no, that's it, shut it off. there's something leaking on the track that causes a hazard, and it is Don Prudhomme on a single. Let's see if he runs it all the way. And run it all the way he did. Another new national record, 5.93 seconds. His speed, 239 miles an hour. A very dejected Mike Hamby walking up to look into the car as Dale Poldy sits in and says, what went wrong? Let's go to the finish line.
593, it's just science fiction.
Well, it's the track's been tremendous and everything's working out pretty good so far.
What happened on the starting line?
I don't know. The tree got a little bit messed up, but I just left when the amber came on. We're all right?
Poldy had a leak or something, and I believe he was shut off.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know that. See, I was staged and the light didn't go amber, so I didn't know what was going on.
You wounded it the last round, but it looks dry now.
It's all right. Yeah, we'll wound it the next one, too.
Don Prudhomme, is he ready for the final? And let's see who he races.
The other 5-second funny car, Raymond Beadle in the Blue Max against Tom Ridings driving for Joe Pisano. Ridings a bit of an easy break in the previous round as his competition went up in smoke. But he's got his work cut out for him, trying to beat the world champion, Raymond Beadle. Beadle bearing the big number 1 on the Blue Max car, signifying his world champion title. Tom Ridings, as we said, moving up from the Pro Top category, is not to have it today. You see a plume of smoke or something coming out in front of the car or in front of the windshield on the Blue Max. He won the race, hurt the motor severely, it appeared, but he still ran a 6.11 second elapsed time at over 207 miles an hour. Maybe in slow motion we can get a better view of just what went wrong with Raymond Beadle in the Blue Max. Here you see something starting to spew out of the car right around the engine compartment. Let's go again to the finish line.
As Raymond Beadle crawls in the car, the crew has already diagnosed the problem. In fact, you can see a broken windshield where a port line, it's a fuel line that puts nitro in right on top of the supercharger, came off. And it came off very early. Raymond says, oh boy, at least I know what's wrong with it. It'll run a 5. Look out, Snake.
As Raymond Beadle heads back to the pits to get ready for the final round, we'll be back in just a moment with the finals in the professional categories of the 11th annual NHRA Gatornationals. Only 6 cars remain in competition at the Gatornationals. The finalists in the 3 professional categories, Pro Stock, Funny Car, and Top Fuel. In Top Fuel semifinal, we saw Doug and Garlitz have problems. Steve's with him.
Boy, you could hear the groan from the grandstands when their own Big Daddy Don Garlitz, Florida's superstar, went out of the semifinals. But something unusual happened, you tell me.
Yeah, we broke an axle, Steve.
Ooh, that can be real trouble.
Well, I've often worried about that. You know, we run these spools, and the other wheel keeps driving, and I always thought you just make a violent turn. Well, it made a pretty violent turn, but it wasn't one that wasn't able to be brought back under control. I lifted immediately and cut it hard right, and it didn't even cross the center line.
I want to put you on the spot here. Jeb Allen and Gary Beck in the final. Who do you pick?
Well, Gary Beck has got the lane choice with a 582. I'm going to go for Beck.
Well, that's what Jeb said. Lane choice could be the race.
Yeah, however, Beck ran the 582 in the right lane, didn't he?
No, left lane.
Oh, he did do it in the left lane. Okay.
You'll go with Beck then?
I'm going to go with Beck because I think he's a little more experienced than Allen. He's got an awful good car, and he's good. And I think that maybe Allen will maybe overdo his a little bit, where Beck won't. Beck will just leave his car like it is.
Before we get to that final in Top Fuel Eliminator, here are the factory hot rods, the finals in Pro Stock. Driving the Chevrolet Camaro is Lee Shepard from Arlington, Texas. Alongside of him will be the man wearing number 1, the world champion Bob Glidden out of Whiteland, Indiana. The Plymouth Arrow, the burnouts completed, approaching the starting line. Crew Chief Etta Glidden watching in the background, Lee Shepard concentrating on the Christmas tree. All important to start in this Pro Stock category, as it is in all categories of championship drag racing. Side by side, they streak down the quarter mile. The Chevrolet Camaro of Lee Shepard in the lane nearest the camera, and it is an upset win as Lee Shepard takes the measure of the low qualifier of Bob Glidden. And listen to the elapsed times, 8.51 seconds for both Shepard and Glidden. A bit of a hole shot for Lee Shepard.
Well, you prove once again that Bob Glidden indeed is not invincible, not with a good driver.
No, he's not, but he's as tough as they come.
Okay, the Chevrolet fans are rejoicing up in the grandstands. Let's go back to the starting line and Dave.
Steve, on the starting line, the final and funny car eliminator. And this man, 38-year-old Don Prudhomme, has absolutely devastated funny car racing this weekend. From the qualifying times of 5:98 to the new national record of 5:93, he's pitted against the reigning world champion Raymond Beadle, and Prudhomme lengthens his lead and wins it handily. Another 5-second elapsed time, 5.98 seconds. His speed, 238 miles an hour. A respectable 6:17 for Beadle, but nowhere close. Prudhomme some $10,000 richer as a result of this win.
Younger than I am, that helps.
And exhausted Don the Snake Prudhomme with a superhuman effort. 5-5-second runs, a feat never before accomplished. It's been a number of years since you've seen the winner's circle here.
It really has. You know, we've just, my crew's worked very hard, and Goodyear really helped us out here. It was a kind of track that without the tires that we had to run it.
No one would have predicted even one 5-second run Thursday or Friday.
I know. Yeah, it's just funny. You know, these cars are so capable of running good, and Raymond Beadle's car is tremendous, you know, and I knew I had my work cut out.
You had to catch up a little bit there.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, I was a little late at the starting line. I mean, they were really ready for us.
But with the kind of power you've got, you don't want to take a chance red lighting either.
That's right, yeah, and smoking the tires. You know, we were at Bakersfield the other week and smoked tires last round. It just made me sick.
Well, congratulations. You got to be a happy guy right now. Let me shake your hand.
Thank
The
you.
Snake is back. Believe it.
Steve, nobody in Gainesville doubts that the Snake is back. The final and top fuel eliminator, Jeb Allen against Gary Beck. We've heard Don Garlitz predict Gary Beck to be the winner. And on the basis of times, he has picked the right one because Beck in with a 5.71 second elapsed time. Some possible trouble with Jeb Allen's car. No, he says everything's A-okay. Let's go to the starting line. That 5.71 second time in the first round for Beck is the 5th quickest elapsed time in the history of the sport. But Jeb Allen has been consistently improving throughout eliminations. Everything on the line right now, some $10,000 going to the winner. Jeb Allen against Gary Beck. Beck with a big hole shot and a big lead off the starting line, but here comes Jeb Allen and he wins it. The upset of Top Fuel Eliminator Racing. Jeb Allen defeats Gary Beck in the final. As we look one more time, you see the hole shot or the head start off the starting line going to Gary Beck, but just before the finish line, it's Jeb Allen.
Where did you go around him?
When I shifted about half track. When I started going over towards him, broke the tires loose, and I think I started making some horsepower and just drove around him.
And that's when you start praying for the motor to just stay together for another few seconds.
Oh, yeah. The motor's working real well, as a matter of fact, except for this slight little oil leak in the front we can't locate. But I'd just like to say my wife and kids aren't here. My son, Troy, I'm sure he's going to be very happy to see this. And my dad and mom, English Leather, and everybody else, Steve.
Congratulations, a great victory.
Thank you.
Jeb Allen, who knows, he could be the 1980 world champion.